Overcoming grief. When you've experienced grief, grieving. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brianne. I don't give advice, suggestions, information, recommendations. I do share with you my perspective on different topics. You know, people can go through a period of grieving, mourning, a loss. So what happens when you've experienced a loss? Often it will be followed up by grief or grieving. For everyone, it's an individual thing. It's an individual timeline. Some people grieve forever. Some people grieve for a short time. Some people grieve on and off throughout their life over a loss. You know, it's important to move on from grief if we want to have any kind of happy life. And yet, that doesn't mean that we forget what we've lost or that we diminish in any way what we've lost. We can hold on to the wonderful memories of what is no longer with us, and yet we can still move forward in our own lives. People often think that if they stop grieving, then they're not respecting what they've lost. You know, sometimes the only way to go forward is to go forward. Sometimes we carry our grief for a lifetime. Sometimes we carry it a long way. And yet it's important to, at some point, go forward. I understand that there is a grieving process, and it varies from person to person and situation to situation. And in no way would I ever diminish that process, because I think it's an important process to grieve, especially if it's been a major loss. And yet, at some point, a person has to reconcile themselves between the grief, the loss, and moving forward if they want to move forward. Some people get lost in the grief, and some people actually may use grief as an excuse not to move on. And I've seen that too. And yet grief for a significant loss can last a lifetime. And yet a person can move forward. And they may grieve intermittently, they may grieve now and then, they may grieve ongoing for the loss that they've taken place. They may never forget what they've lost. They may think about it each and every day the rest of their life. For some people, they're able to get over it quickly and move on. And so whatever kind of person or whatever kind of grieving you are doing, make sure to respect your grieving process and to respect the grieving process of others. Remember, everyone grieves differently for different periods of time. The important thing is, at some point, sooner or later, it's time to move forward and live our best life, with grief or without grief. From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.